founder of the Woke Money Movement. This is the wokeNbusiness podcast. Hello, everybody who is tuning in to us tonight. As per usual, we have another phenomenal guest here with us. So we're going to dive right in. And I appreciate those who tune in every single Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So before we get started, as per our custom, we want to shout out the Woke Money Wine. We got a nice fresh, it's girl, it's cold, it's ready for you, okay? So we got our Woke Money Wine crafted by Signature Sips. It is fortified, 17%, all natural, gluten-free, vegan. So yes, it's always a party. It's liquid gold, and definitely love to shout it out and showcase it here on the wokeNbusiness podcast. So y'all know my custom. For those that are, know how we do this thing every single Monday, I'm gonna pour and give my guests an opportunity to introduce themselves. So while I pour us, I'm not gonna pour her too much because she's she wants to be grown tonight, but
I'm working
look, she wants to be grown, but I know the tolerance level, so I'm gonna just give her a little scooch just so we can, sip and have a conversation. But while I pour her little scooch and then me a big scooch, we'll let her introduce herself and let's get this interview going.
Good evening. My name is Janice Woolwright Griffin, and I am the CEO and business owner of RichHer Systems. And RichHer Systems is a faith-based money coaching system that works on work-life balance. So what I say is I help women establish work-life balance while they're building wealth.
I love it. I just want to say, before we get started, that this lady is phenomenal. Like, I just want to say that. And I just appreciate what you do, because as a lady, look, who needs work-life balance? Look, I definitely appreciate, what you bring, to the table. So let's take a little quick cheers. Cheers. Let's have a sip, and in real time, let's tell everybody what you think about the Woke Money Wine.
Very good. I can definitely taste the citrus as well. Very, very good.
Okay, smooth. It's not too bad for you, right?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Too bad.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sipping with me tonight. We're gonna sip and talk, so just feel free to take a sip every now and then as we dive in. So RichHer, give it to me again.
RichHer Systems.
RichHer Systems. So what made you develop that? What happened in life? Who did you run into? What made you come up with that concept?
Well, so I've been in the financial services industry for 30 years.
Okay.
So in dealing with that and dealing with clients, many times everyone thinks it's all about gaining the bag. And so as many people were trying to, when I dealt with male clients, they were like, I need to know the investment strategy, expense ratios. They wanted to know the mechanics of money.
Understood.
But when I was dealing with women, many times they were telling me, I know I need to do this, but right now I have to do this. Right now I have to do that. So with women who are faced with many, many more problems than men, meaning the wealth gap, the wage gap, as well as having to handle family responsibilities and all the things that they have to handle, they always put themselves
last
at the very, very end.
You're right.
And so I was telling them, so I was like, I've got to find a way to help them establish the balance while they're building the wealth, because they keep saying, what should I do first? Should I be paying off my credit card debt? Or should I be paying off my student loan debt? What should I do first to establish this wealth? And so what I was telling them, I said, you know what? It's two big goals that you have to accomplish at the same time.
Ooh. Okay.
So in establishing that, I actually came up with something that helped them actually establish these systems. And actually systems actually stands for an acronym.
Okay.
So it means strategize your spiritual growth, your time, your energy, your money, and your self-care.
I love it. I love it.
So helping them establish and find out where's the deficit. And I've often been asked, where should I start? And I often tell them, tell me your pain point. What keeps you up at night? And from there we start breaking it down and start coming up with a way to establish a system to get them back on balance. Because and the reason why the faith piece was brought in is because what people don't understand is God gives you the power to create wealth. So if you establish so a lot of people think, well, I need to change my money mindset, which is a component of it. But what I say is let's develop a faith set. We set your faith first, then we'll set your mind, then we'll get your money set.
Okay. Look, I love it. I love it. I can't say nothing wrong about that. Look, I love it. And so I noticed, because we might have some men. Look, we might have a few men that's tuned in, So what you do is catered specifically for women, and it's okay. I just wanted to know, just so we have clarity, you work specifically with women.
No, I will say women are my primary audience.
Okay.
But I service men as well, because believe it or not, a lot of men now are taking on or challenged with getting in contact with their emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Because what they're finding since the pandemic, especially our Black men, have stepped up to the plate and said, yes, now I'm dealing with mental health issues as well. And so this same kind of system can help them get back on balance. Because what a lot of people don't understand is big life balance equals big bank balance.
Say it again. What was
big
that?
Big life balance equals big bank balance. Wow. So a lot of times what happens is if you do acquire the money without the balance, what you'll find out is you'll quickly lose it.
There you go. You're so right.
Because what it is, and what a lot of it also stems from, especially in today's society, is they're suffering from identity crisis. And the reason they're suffering from identity crisis is because there's so many people telling us who we are.
Wow.
Whether they're marketing to us.
Wow.
Whether they're conditioning us to certain systems, like you must go to college, you must do this, you must do that. So it's all these built-in other systems that get us off of our own internal systems. So we no longer know who we are. So we suffer from what I call the lie-identity, which, again, you don't know who your identity is anymore.
Gotcha.
And then you also suffer from identity crisis, meaning you may, especially in this environment where we're dealing with DE&I issues and other things, where you go to work and you code switch and you're dealing with microaggressions, and you have that identity at work, and that identity is different from home. And then we also have what I call role identity. And what that means is sometimes as we journey through life, sometimes you're somebody's mother. And when you're no longer mothering, you lose that identity.
Gotcha.
You're sometimes you're that executive on the job. When you lose the job, you no longer know who you are.
Got you.
So if you're married and you experience a divorce, you're used to being somebody's
wife,
and you no longer know who you are.
Wow.
So all these identity crises also cause us to be off balance. So we deal with external pressures of not knowing who we are, and then that creates internal pressures of not knowing who we are.
And it's just crazy, because just these little concepts or these little things that you're saying, you don't really honestly realize until you talk about it or until you bring it up. Like, man, I am suffering from XYZ. This is all I know, is being somebody's mother or somebody's wife or whatever the case may be. So that's deep right there. So let me ask you this. Has there ever been a point in your life where you suffered from any identity, and does that help propel you through helping and coaching and mentoring other people?
Oh, definitely. Especially being in the investment industry for as long as I was, I dealt with imposter syndrome sometimes, because sometimes I was in rooms where I was the only.
Gotcha.
And many times with that, you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I am smart enough, I am good enough, but you're constantly being challenged as to whether or not you are or not.
Wow.
So again, and going through different challenges. And then also too, in 2016, I went legally blind.
Jeez. Wow.
I mean, could not see. So I went through a series of eye surgeries, eye injections. To this day, I still get eye injections.
Wow.
I regained 20/20 in my left eye, and we're waiting on a miracle or modern medicine for that right eye. But having those challenges really forced me to figure out, okay, this has happened to you, but then how do you reset? How do you get back on balance? Because here's the thing, while you're going through, because we're either going through something or we're coming out of something or about to go in something.
Yes.
So my philosophy is, am I going to go through this or am I going to grow through this?
Wow. Wow.
And so I put myself in a position to say, you know what? Not only do I want to grow through this, but I want to teach others that it isn't about this fictitious goal that we have in our head about it's this house or it's this car or it's this man or it's this woman or it's this thing. And once I obtain it, I'm going to
now I'm happy. Yeah.
No, you all right now.
Gotcha.
You're already enough.
Gotcha.
But if you're not in balance, you will not understand that enough to create the wealth that you desire to have.
Woo! Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I for those that are listening, watching, you have to be in this lady's presence just to feel the energy that she brings. She is so phenomenal. It's almost like bringing me to tears. That's just how, man. But being in balance, that, I mean, if you didn't hear nothing else, if you're not gathering anything else, balance is the key. Because like you said, you can get millions of dollars, you can do whatever, but if you not, I mean, goodness gracious, you just got to be on point. So I know you said that a lot of people come to you and they say, where do I start? Do you have like a checklist or like a start here, or is everybody's situation different?
Everybody's situation is different. Let me give you a great example. I was working with a client and she was scheduled to meet with me and she was late to our meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very distraught. And so I asked her, she said, well, I brought my statements and I said, well, hold on. Let's breathe. Let's, what's going on? And she said, I just got written up. And she was very distressed because as many of us know, especially in this day in society, you're not only doing one or two jobs, you're doing probably three people's jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so she was like, I just can't believe this. I got a new manager and he's been writing me and now he's written me up. And of course, now that he's writing me, I'm making more mistakes than she goes, 2 years ago, I'm like the star performer. Now, everybody's loving me. And, I've got all these recommendations. And she said, I just, and she was scheduled to meet with me to discuss her retirement plan.
Wow.
Okay. So again, we were working on that money piece because again, we often think if I just suffer through this and get to the money, I'm going to be okay. So I told her, I said, well, you know what? I said, and so that was a Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I said, okay, let's get a quick game plan together. And she said, what do you mean? I said, we're going to get you settled enough so you can actually grow through this. I gave her the grow through this. And I said, so this is what you're going to do. So where she worked, there was a McDonald's that was right across the street from her job. I said, you have to be there at 8, right? And one of the things you got written up for was being late.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. So she's a mother of 3.
Trying to make it.
Get the kids on the school bus. Yep. So she was late. So I said, you're going to be in that McDonald's every morning at 7:30. I said, can you tell me a time and place where you felt spiritually grounded? And she said, well, I used to get that Daily Bread little booklet all the time and read that. And I really felt connected in. I said, okay. I said, it's digital now. You can find something, get your devotional book, get something. 7:30, you're going to be in that parking lot. You're going to read that. You're going to get reset. And then you're going to walk into work. And I said, as the day progresses, at 4:30, you're going to stop working. You're going to shut it down. And you're going to start drafting all your emails and everything that you need to do to set you up for the next day.
Wow.
I said, so just leave them in your drafts. So when you walk in at 7:45, because she used to be there at 8.
Yeah.
And this boss was there at 7:45 every day.
Making sure we're
going to be on time.
Exactly.
I said, at 7:55, you start sending out those draft
Wow.
emails as a timestamp
Yep.
that you're there.
Yep.
And I said, and then you start leaving every day at 5 o'clock. And I said, you go home. I want you to get your home, everything in order enough for you to make this possible for you, because you have to make room for this success.
For sure.
So we went through
Wow.
those processes, and I said, we'll talk about the retirement plan in 1 week. And I said, so what I want you to do, I want you to follow this little plan, few simple steps. And I said, and then the following week on Wednesday, I want you to walk into his office and tell him that. And I said, and this is what you do whenever you're having a communication issue with someone. You tell them, I need your help. So you go into his office and you say, I need your help. Obviously, you know, the workload is expansive because I've taken on all these multiple roles. And I need you to manage this to where I can get this accomplished in a 40-hour week and put that back on his plate.
For sure. But flip it back.
And said, because I've rearranged my family obligations
to accommodate
to meet my work obligations, I need you to fix this.
Okay. And what happened? Look, I'm just curious. What happened?
Fast forward 3 years later, she was promoted to the same level as he is.
Wow.
They were working on a project just recently. As a matter of fact, she called me in January of this year. And they're working on a project just recently. And he said to her how impressed he was with her growth and her development, but blah, 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 blah. And he said, you know what? He said, I was a young manager at the time. And he said, I valued the work more than I did the people. And he said,
wow.
And I didn't know the problem I created for myself when you gave me back that when I had to figure out how to spread the workload that you would take. I had no idea how much work you were actually producing.
Wow. And just from that simple conversation, like, wow. So she stayed on and now she's promoted. Wow. That's deep.
Yeah. And the reason she called me in January, because not only is she on track for her retirement, she wanted to be sure she was on track for her kids' college savings plans.
Wow. Wow.
So again, what everybody doesn't understand is they think that it's all segregated, life and money. Money encompasses everything. Do you know it's mentioned in the Bible more than anything? Simply because it's a facet that we have to function in life with.
Yes.
So again, everyone says, "Oh, you know, you don't need money to be happy," and I say, "No, you don't." But you'll certainly be unhappy without it.
I was about to say I'd rather be crying in a Bentley than in a shack, like, you know. But I mean I understand the sentiment, but I definitely get what you're saying. And I guess I just want to ask you, you know, helping people navigate, you know, through their stuff. How do you find balance? Like, how do you stay on kilter? Like, you know.
I definitely believe in morning routines. I definitely believe in evening routines. And I do what I call Janice's manufactured joy.
Okay. Can we learn a little bit about that? Because I might have to take some of that. Look.
Because I believe there's certain things you can do. Because the thing about it is that if you can control your environment and control the controllables, you can handle everything else.
Wow. Okay.
So like one of the things that I love, I have a little $15 milk frother that I got from Target.
Okay.
So when in the morning, I know I look forward to that cup of coffee that I froth that milk with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It gives me that Starbucks feel.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And those types of things. And I make sure that I listen to gospel music. And I have a thing called vibes.
Okay.
So that's vision, images, belief, experiences, and sense and sounds.
Okay.
So for instance, vision. A lot of times when you're not privileged enough to be in the future you want, you imagine yourself there.
Gotcha. That is true. That's true.
And if you can't imagine it for yourself, you grab an image from the internet.
Yep.
What is your belief system?
Yep.
Like one of my belief systems is all my problems are solvable or manageable.
Let's preach.
All of them.
Okay.
And because here's the thing. And it's funny, as I was doing a workshop once, and this man said to me, he goes, that's impossible for you to believe that. He goes, what if you have cancer? And I said, well, sir, I said, having someone who's gone through a major illness, I can tell you this. The management of that was making sure that I had the doctors, the protocol, the things. I said, but ultimately what I also knew is no matter what happened, it was manageable and it was going to be all right.
For sure.
It
For
was going
sure.
to be all right. Not that I can control the outcome,
Yes.
but I knew no matter what, it was going to be all right.
I love it. I
So
love
again,
it.
solvable or manageable. And that's what you have to say when you're approaching a problem. Can I solve it? If I cannot solve it, if I cannot bring in the help of others, if it's not solvable, then how can I live with it and manage it until it is solvable?
Gotcha. Wow. Wow.
And also, too, I believe in staying away from the ticks.
And what's the tick, girl?
And the tick is,
I was like, what's the tick, girl? Look.
the tick is time in conflict.
Ooh.
You got to stop spending time in conflict, whether that's relationships. For some people, it's reality TV.
Wow.
For some people, it's music.
Wow.
Anything that constantly gets you on edge.
Wow.
You have to say to yourself, how much time do I spend there? Because again, that is the thing that will get you off balance.
Gotcha.
And if you're in conflict, and the thing about conflict is this, you also have to watch comparison. So when you compare, you compete, and then you're in conflict.
Compare, compete, conflict. Okay.
So again, putting yourself in those conflict type situations, it puts you in that fight or flight.
Yep.
Constant
survival mode.
Constant.
Yes.
And if you're like that, trust me, you are not when you're not at your creative self.
Wow.
You're not going to be at your wealthiest self.
Wow. Okay.
Because if you think about it, when you are in that moment, when you're thinking of creative things, ideas,
it's flowing,
collaborations,
yep.
Things of that nature. When you're in that state of mind, nothing can stop you.
That is true. That is very true.
If you're in a state of conflict, you can't. If you the same opportunity where you're going to Starbucks and you're in a creative state where you can meet someone you could future collaborate with, see an opportunity in front of you, is the same opportunity you'll miss if you're in conflict.
Wow, that's true. That's very true, because your mind, you're not even ready to receive.
You're not ready to receive.
I got you. Wow. Look, y'all, I'm telling you, we could talk all night. We could do this all night with this one right here. I promise you. And you know, I just appreciate you for just sharing, you know, your story, at least a piece of it, you know, and just some of those tips and things for people to stay in balance, because like you said, if you're not in balance, then everything else suffers, right? So I gotta mention this. We're gonna have this wonderful, phenomenal lady at the Woke Money Conference. I'm ecstatic. What can they look forward to? So for those that, you know, are like, man, I want to learn more, I want to get more, I just need to be in her presence. Trust me, you want to get this vibe. I'm telling you, y'all missing out. But anyway, what can they look forward to at your workshop at the Woke Money Conference?
In my workshop, what you'll get is you're actually going to get a workbook. Because here's the thing. It's not 7 steps to this or 10 steps to that. It's really the reason why it's personal finance. And I spell personal 2 ways. It's PURSENAL, because it's about your purse.
Yeah, I love it. Yes.
And it's also personal.
Yes, that is.
But you cannot make it without a customized plan.
That is so true.
So here's the thing. Once you learn the roadmap and the system, you're going to have to constantly go back and reset and reevaluate every single time. It's not always about the latest coaching program or the latest motivational book. How can you get to know yourself and what best works for you, so that when you do find yourself in a learning deficit or a way you need to build your skill set, you know, this is how I operate. This is how I function. This is what's going to help me. Sally's program might not have helped you.
For sure. No, I got you.
But what you need to know is, how do I get to know you? So you walk out with a tangible workbook that's all about you, to where you figure out how to best work with you.
I love it. So they get a workbook, they get time with you. I'm telling y'all better wokemoney.org. Y'all better go get these tickets. Wow. Okay. So what if they want to, because some people is like, I don't want to wait until the conference. June is too far away. Like it's just too far. If they want to connect with you, or are you so with your coaching and things of that nature, is there any prerequisite, any like what does one need or have to have, or how does that part work?
All you have to do is want better from where you are. So if you say, you know what, even if your thing is, I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know why, it's like 3 years ago I was on top of the world, I had all my stuff together, and I don't know how this all unraveled.
Wow. Okay.
So, and sometimes we need to say, okay, let's just find out what's the biggest pain point right now. What's stopping you from getting to the point where we can figure out what's next? Because see, the thing about having a GPS, and I call that a God planning system.
I love her acronym. She has acronyms for everything. Y'all, I love it.
Here's why. Because I need it simple in order for it to work for me.
For sure. For sure.
And the reason why GPS works so well is you must know where you are, and you must know where you're
trying
going
to go. Wow.
And if you don't know those two things,
wow,
the GPS cannot help you.
That is true. and the crazy thing is, just to piggyback off, it could take you wherever you want to go. That's the part. That part. It can take you wherever you want to go, but you gotta know where you're trying to. Wow.
And
go
even
ahead.
if you
go
make
ahead.
a bad turn,
it's gonna redirect you.
Recalculating.
Wow.
And so some people may know where they are and where they want to go. They just don't know how to recalculate.
I love it. Wow. I know. See, I'm gonna tell you, we've had a little batch of people that's been watching. I'm telling you, nobody has stopped. I ain't see one person log off since we've been live. So it is obvious that we need balance. We need, like you said, we need the GPS, but not just the GPS, but we need to know where we are and where we're trying to go. That's life-changing information within itself, because how can you get where you are trying to go if you don't even know where, first of all, where you at?
Right.
How, come on, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, y'all just don't understand this. Okay, so we're gonna see you at the conference.
Absolutely.
But as I was saying, for those that do want to connect, beforehand, they do want to coach with you. How does that process start or work?
So you can reach me at RichHerSystems.com. You can definitely reach me on my cell, which is 713-299-5213. And like I said, the most important thing is having the conversation to figure out, you know what, this is what I need. And also somebody asked me the other day, they were like, coaching, I've heard coaching is so expensive, and I heard it's such an investment. And I often say this: there's nothing greater you can do than invest in yourself. And especially when you know that it's something that can help you, don't worry about the cost. Worry about what it's costing you.
Yes.
Not to have it.
Wow. Say it one more time. I'm sorry. Just for those that was in the back, or for somebody that was just like had one hand over their ear and they was like say that one more time, please.
It's not about what it costs. It's about what it's costing you. And I tell everyone, every time I do a workshop, every time I deal with someone, I tell them, I said, every day you want to be richer. RichHer in faith, family, and finances.
Gotcha.
Or what'll happen is, at the close of today, before you close your eyes, you're going to say to yourself, I now have one less day to be the me I'm meant to be.
Wow.
So it's really about a choice about deciding to because I believe, and I love Maya Angelou. I know we quote her a lot, and we all say, when you know better, you do better. But the Janicism in me says, when you know better, you have an opportunity to do better. But not everybody does better.
Ooh, wow, because that is so true. We talk about that all the time. If y'all go back to episode after episode, we talk about that all the time. Again, like you said, you can know better all the time, but it is also about action. And Just out of curiosity, because you got a lot of acronyms and you got a lot, a lot of nuggets and jewels and gems. For those that are listening and for those that are getting this information, what steps or like what advice can you give those that are not action takers, like that are like they listen, they hear, but they just don't take action?
Well, I have a another workshop called "Stop Goal Setting and Start Goal Getting."
Ooh.
Because again, everybody talks about the SMART goals and the things of that nature, and we've all been through that process.
Yes.
But what I do is I break it down even further, because it isn't about the knowledge, it's about the application. What a lot of people don't understand, sometimes what's the difference between the information is your learning style. So a lot of times what I do is I take people through a short assessment of them learning what their learning style is. And then I break it down to, again, what's customizable to you.
I love it.
That's why you need to be coached, because typically what happens is you don't understand where your blind spots are. That's why you can get the vitamins, get the workout gear, get the membership, and then don't end up in the gym. Because again, you haven't put the policies and the things that are in place that get you to that point. You've gotten the stuff, but the other barriers that you cannot see, that you need someone else to help you work through,
yes,
is what's preventing you from that.
Gotcha. Well, let me tell y'all, folks. I'm a witness. Let me tell y'all, if y'all need help working through some stuff, y'all need to get with Miss Janice. I'm telling y'all, she is the GOAT, the truth. Okay. So tell them one more time, because they can't just keep getting all this juice, and I just can't keep giving all this goodness away. And matter of fact, what I want y'all to do, if y'all not following Woke Money, make sure that you guys are following Woke Money, because I'm going to be tapped in with these workshops that you have going on and making sure that we have access to that so we can push that out to the community, because they need that and then some. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna ask one more time for those that want to connect with you. First of all, y'all better be coming to the conference so y'all can see her face to face in real life, because she's beautiful on the screen, but she's definitely, come see her in real life, right? You come to the conference June 8th, but before that time, if they can't wait, tell them one more time how to get in touch with you.
RichHer Systems, and that's 2 H's, RichHer systems.com. And again, you want to be richer in your faith, family, and finances, because they are all equally important. The reason I started this business is because I wanted to leave a legacy of faith, a legacy with my family, and a legacy with my finances. And if you don't have the relationship with the family and teach them how to build the wealth, then the wealth you leave them, they cannot manage. So that's why I teach a family piece too. So again, it's all about what's important to you. And again, you want to be richer, and I want to see you richer every single day.
And she means that, guys. She is the truth. So thank you so much. Look, thank you so much for coming and gracing this platform. And I just want to say I'm excited to have you at the Woke Money Conference. Just anytime that I could be in your presence, anytime, that you are a part of anything, I just want to be able to get that information out, because I know that it's going to bless and change lives. And that's what we aspire to do. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep being great. Okay. And keep helping others do what they do, and just keep pressing, sister, because you're doing the work. God definitely has his hand on you. And I'm just blessed to be, being in the presence of greatness. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So guys, that's all we have for this evening. I just want to thank you guys so much for tapping in. Make sure that you follow us at Woke Money, the Woke Money Movement on Facebook, Woke Money Movement on Instagram. Again, we have the Woke Money Conference that's coming up. We have so many At this point, I think we have over 50 entities that are attached to this event. We have different panel discussions. Words can't describe how big and how great this thing is going to be. So if you're looking to change your life, if you're looking to take things to the next level, you definitely want to be at the Woke Money Conference. All right. But until next time, I will see you guys next week, 8:30 p.m. sharp, right? Here at GMT Radio. So shout out to GMT, shout out to Flume TV. I'll see you guys next week here at the wokeNbusiness podcast. You guys be great, and we'll see you next week.